everyone, Z here, your favorite Spanish-speaking therapist. So today I want to do a live with a little bit of visuals. So when I see clients in session, I tend to use a lot of metaphors and in Spanish a lot of dichos because I work with a lot of Spanish-speaking clients and Latinos, which is my favorite niche. And I have to tell you that in processing a lot of this with some of my clients in session and just patients and whatnot, I actually realized that I have a really good metaphor for how people self-care and how people fulfill themselves. So I want to share with you something today that is probably the most amazing thing I own right now. And it's definitely a product of its own. And I found it at Z Gallery, one of my favorite stores ever, just because it starts with the letter Z and it has great stuff. So what I want to share with you is this. When people say like, is your cup filled? Have you filled your cup? Or are your needs being met? That's really what we're asking, right? Like, if you guys have ever heard the saying that says, my cup runneth thy over, right? It's just you're so fulfilled, you're happy, all your needs have been met, right? So I have here two different cups. And if you guys could see them, they seem like they're different sizes and maybe they could hold different amounts, right? And this is people right here. So if we symbolize this is one person and this is another, right? So everybody's different. Human beings are just kind of made that way. They're designed to be different and to take different perspectives and different intense emotions and energies from others. So that's why some people can handle some and some can't, right? Some people say, oh, you know, I could cram right before a test, and others say, no, girl, I need like a week, right? So given that fact, there's different cups like different people's, right? So here we have an empty cup, right? This is one of my favorites. As you guys can see, it's really pretty and has rose gold at the bottom, right? Anywho, this cup right now is empty. And this is how a lot of people are that haven't had their needs filled. And if we think about it like this, as we ask people to fulfill our needs, we are much more better to pour into others. And it's literally like this. But this is what we need to understand. Let's pretend that these are needs and wants, right? This is compassion, this is empathy, this is understanding, this is validation, this is reflection, right? So as it goes in, it just looks like a full glass of water, right? And as we could see, the water stops right there, right? And it's a nice cup of water. It's actually very aesthetically pleasing if you're thirsty, right? So as you could see, this looks good, right? All right. So now, as people are different, I want you to see this cup. This is the coolest thing that I own, and I'm going to share why. I'm going to bring this way. This cup is designed very differently. As you could tell here, it has like a pyramid shape. And I love this cup. This is my favorite cup. This is my drinking cup. So when you set it down, it does not lay straight. It lays sideways, right? It does this. Isn't this the coolest thing ever? So one of my really good friends calls this the anxiety cup because it causes her so much anxiety just to see this being filled up, but also set down because it doesn't sit straight. It can't. It's either this way or that way sideways, right? So I'm going to show you on my hand and hopefully this doesn't topple over. But same idea, filling needs, right? But different person, different ergonomical design, right? Here's a really cool part. Okay, so now that I've filled this, and this is on my hand, so I'm trying to be as steady as possible. As you guys can see on the camera, right, it does not lay straight, it lays sideways. It would drive someone nuts to go ahead and see it going sideways. Watch, I'm trying to put it again so you guys can see that, right? Looks a little weird, but it won't topple over. And the reason I'm sharing this with you, this is the coolest cup I own, is because when I first started using it, what came to me is the idea that for some people, they're able to function and others aren't with certain situations. So the reason I bring this up is because of energy. We need to know how much we're able to take of one person and not another. What energies we want to take on and what we're able to handle. Just like this cup is made differently than this one, they're both able to contain emotions and help others and fulfill themselves, except they're designed differently. So just because a cup looks like it's going to topple over doesn't mean that it will. So there's a lot of people that say like, oh girl, you're doing too much, or is that really like, is that a heavy schedule for you? Or do you think maybe 6 kids, 5 kids is too much? Who are we to judge? Maybe that's what works for them. And I think that's the biggest point of this. Live and let live, right? So I want to show you guys here. Let me move this so we could see a little bit better here. So as you guys could see these two cups next to each other, hopefully without the comments here, you could see that one is going sideways and one is going straight up, right? So this might be like the traditional track, especially when it comes to people who choose different self-development. Maybe they don't choose a traditional track of universities or going to a self-development course. Maybe they just learn from life, and that's okay. The point is that everybody is different. There we go. Now you can really see it. You see that? One of the cups is sideways and one is straight up, and that's exactly how people are. They're different. Isn't this the coolest thing you've ever seen? Look at this cup. And it's so anxiety provoking because you think that it's going to topple over, but it doesn't, right? Can you see that? Isn't that cool? This is why it's my favorite cup. But anywho, okay. So here's a great example about energy, right? So this is us. We are born a blank slate. We are born innocent. We are born good people. And then life happens to us, right? And then we form our own type of energy. And water is the biggest conductor of energy, right? We all know this. Energy can either be destroyed or created. Taking this into consideration, we need to think, what happens when we mix our energy with other people, right? And this comes into play when you share your body, when you share your thought, your mind, any part of you that is your essence, that you're gonna mix with other people, and this is what happens. So let's say that we have a chat with a girlfriend, right? And the girlfriend is just going and putting energy onto you, and this person and that person. It's a lot of gossip versus just self-development or ideas or things or events, right? So this is going to be gossip. I want you guys to see what happens here. So one interaction with the person that gossips versus developing themselves, we have a change in color. You guys can see that? You see it going through? Okay, so it's gonna be a little difficult because I have only 2 hands here, but you see that? That's how it changes the watercolor, right? So what if we have a second interaction with this person and we know that we've outgrown this friend or this family member or this business partner, but we're doing nothing about it, right? Here goes interaction 2. And we didn't learn our lesson yet. Interaction number 3 and number 4 and so on and so forth until you decide that that is no longer for you. So that beautiful, clear, crystal clear water is now murky. Let me bring it closer to the camera so you can see this. And that's exactly how we are left energetically when we are in interaction or around somebody that just is not growing. They're not. They add no value to your life whatsoever. So as you could see, this is what you got, right? So this is what happens when we are around those that are not growing, right? And then just kind of sucking that energy. But wait, it gets better. Then we meet somebody that we really like. Somebody in business, friendship, romantically, whatever it might be, right? And this is what happens. This is our energy, and this is their clean, crystal clear, and they're great. This is what you've been asking for, right? But wait, your energy is now mixing with theirs. You see that? And now this one is also tainted. Now, this works both ways. I use the negative example, but could also be positive. Let's pretend that this green actually represents growth, that it represents wisdom, that it represents curiosity and humor and all that great yummy stuff that we love from others, right? It's infectious. It definitely brings out the best in others. And if you're around others, then you'll grow too. So here is a great example of pouring one into another. So when we have great characteristics of integrity, of honesty, of just growth, we are able to provide it to others because both our cups are filled. And this is the best relationship. So as I keep pouring and mixing here and putting equal amounts into each other, this is a healthy relationship where you just pour into each other. I got your back, you got mine, you need help, you need some advice, I got you, right? So here we are. So as you can see right here, let me pour in a little to this one. Here is a good friendship. It has right about the same amount, right? Okay, and I chose green because it's March, right? So as I put them down, once again, I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see. They're the same amount. They're holding the same amount, but they look different. One looks like it's going to topple over, but it doesn't. It's just as strong as the other, and that's exactly how it is for people. This is what we need to think about. What may work for some people may not work for others. And the beautiful thing is that regardless of which cup you are, whether you're the sideways one I'm holding here or the straight up one, it doesn't matter. What's important is knowing what can you hold in your cup? How much space can you hold for others? What energy do you want to mix with others? So let's say that you've had negative experiences and all this is just gunky, bad gossip, like family that does not serve us, right? Now I have another one. This is sunshine, right? This is yellow. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna put a couple droplets in this one and see how it changes. There we go. So we have positive experiences. When I work with patients as a dually licensed psychotherapist, I like to call it reparative experiences. The more negative and bad, yucky things that have happened to you, the more you need reparative experiences to go ahead and replace that or repair it. What we don't repair, we will repeat. And when I mean this, I mean that if we don't heal something that hasn't been healed completely or had closure to it, we'll continue to repeat it with different people. It's literally like people say, it's different face, different dude, right? Or different person, same person, different face. Anyways, so as you could see, there's beautiful yellow up top, and I'll hold it up to the wall so you guys can see. It's a beautiful kind of like lime green now, but all this is a reparative experience. And this is us, the cup is us, and now we have like this really pretty like sunset here. We have all this greatness, and if I mix it up, this is over time, right? Good experiences, good experiences, good experiences. It's a beautiful lime color now, right? Isn't that great? This is what I'm talking about, and this is what we call a person that is healing. Healed people heal others. Broken, hurt, upset, sad, salty people will be exactly that to others. How people react and how people behave towards others is a reflection of themselves. The most important lesson about sharing energy, compassion, empathy with anyone is that we are triggered by what others do because it reflects a part of us. It's literally an imago, it's an image. We can learn so much from others. So if anybody ever triggers you, think about, what does this represent inside me? What is this doing to me, right? So besides my fabulous hat and my necklace here, I'm gonna give a shout out to Inovi Nicole. She made it for me personally. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna show you guys here. Her energy, speaking of which, so she made this necklace with great love and attention for me, and she infused it with great energy here with the stone. So this is something that I wear to remind myself to support others, support entrepreneurs, support women of color. This is what I stand for. This is what I love. And once again, I'm going to show you guys, for you those that are just jumping in, this is my favorite cup right here. And as you can tell, it's because it's super dope and it does not sit a certain way. Look at that. Isn't that anxiety provoking? Look at that. Look at that. It's all sideways. I got this at D Gallery. These cups are bomb. They're a little pricey, but you know what? They're worth it. Just because when you look at them, it looks like it's going to topple over, but it doesn't. So it's a great thing. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys that, as well as that if you guys have any questions about therapy or coaching, go ahead, shoot me a DM. If you're a student and you're thinking about going into psychology, please reach out. It's about supporting one another. So feel free to share, let others know about my little cup situation here. But remember, cups are people. Fill your cup. Bye, guys.